Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a very cool off-meta pick in the Great League Remix Cup, Jirachi. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now Jirachi, much like Metang, which I featured earlier this week, is a Psychic and Steel type Pokemon, but Jirachi has a significantly better moveset. This trainer was able to go on a 14-game win streak with Jirachi, and I'll be showcasing some battles, including some wins and some losses, featuring the team. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Jirachi in the Remix Cup. Hopping into the first match, leading Carbink into Shadow Alolan Sandslash. The backline really does not want to see Alolan Sandslash, so I do like the idea of staying in here with the Carbink and just trying to get this Sandslash as low as possible. Sandslash will fire off the Drill Run and grab an early shield from the Carbink, but Carbink can deal some solid damage in return with the Rock Slide. Opponent is going to match shields. Drill Run will not KO here. Carbink is quite tanky. Super effective Drill Run, that's not gonna KO. And Carbink is able to make another Rock Slide, but loses CMP to the Sandslash. Sandslash fires off the Ice Punch, that will be lethal. In comes Jirachi, looking for the Confusion farm down. They're firing off a charge move. We see the shield from the Jirachi, and that proves to be a good idea as Sandslash did make the Drill Run. Jirachi leaves with quite a lot of energy here. Opponent sending in Cresselia, so it looks like once the Sandslash is gone, the opponent's backline is core broken by Jirachi. Jirachi fires off the Doom Desire. We see a switch into Pidgeot, and in the back, opponent is running Shadow Dragonite. Going for the bait here with the Feather Dance, hoping the opponent is going to shield, but the opponent calls the Feather Dance bait. What a play by the opponent. They're going to be firing off a charge move here, but they're now debuffed. Dragon Claw not going to cut it. Dragonite cannot get the farm down, and Pidgeot leaves with the Feather Dance loaded. Had the Brave Bird too, but getting this debuff is going to be key, as Jirachi did take a lot of damage from those Shadow Claws. Back in comes Jirachi, and now the question will be, how many debuffed Moonblast can Jirachi take? Jirachi able to withstand the first, and a second Moonblast coming through as well. Jirachi able to withstand the Moonblast and make the double Doom Desire, and that should be game over. Doom Desire gets the KO, and that's a good game. Picking up a great lead in the next match, Carbink into Shadow Dragonair. Opponent is going to immediately save switch into Scrafty, and we see a counter switch into Pidgeot. Now typically, a team with a Dragonair lead and a Scrafty in the back will have Toxapex as the third, so being able to keep alignment will be key in this matchup. Taking the foul play, going for the Feather Dance, but the opponent calls the bait. Nice read by the opponent. That's going to grab the opponent an early shield. As foul play will be shielded, Pidgeot continuing to farm, gets the farm down, and leaves with energy to threaten the Dragonair. Let's see, is the opponent going to send back in the Dragonair here, or do we see the potential Toxapex? It's the Dragonair, full sending the Brave Bird. Brave Bird onto the Dragonair, does get shielded, but now Dragonair is going to be stuck on the Carbink, and there's the Toxapex. Toxapex in a world of pain, taking massive super effective damage from the Confusions. Brine will be fired into the Jirachi. Jirachi, unfortunately, its charge moves are resisted here, as Jirachi is not running Psychic. But the good news is Jirachi can tank multiple Brines here, able to withstand that damage. Jirachi going for the farm down, getting the farm down, and the opponent concedes the match. We see a terrible lead in the next match, Carbink into Chestnut. Immediate save switch into Jirachi. Opponent is now going to respond with Dubwool, but the opponent stayed in with Chestnut. Not too familiar with seeing Jirachi, and that allows Jirachi to get a very important energy lead here. This is a tough call to make. Jirachi commits the shield, gets baited with a body slam. That's not what you're hoping to see. Jirachi over farming and throwing on absolutely perfect timing, going for the Doom Desire. Doom Desire will be shielded. Jirachi, big call to make here. Jirachi lets it go. It's a wild charge. Jirachi hangs on and makes it to the Doom Desire. Doom Desire will KO that Dubwool, and the opponent concedes the match. We see a familiar lead in the next match, Carbink into Alolan Sandslash, but this time it is not the Shadow. And that does alter this matchup quite a bit, because of course Drill Run is going to do a lot less onto the Carbink, but the Rock Throws are not going to add up nearly as much onto the A-Slash, and ideally, with this backline, you really need to preserve the Carbink to take care of the A-Slash. Carbink goes for the Rock Slide, losing CMP to the Sand Slash, so Carbink will commit the first shield. Rock Slide would put the A-Slash into farm down range, so we will see a shield from the A-Slash. It's going to be a race here. Carbink farming up to the Rock Slide, but again, losing CMP. This is not a fun health range for either back Pokemon to farm down, so Carbink is forced to burn the final shield. Carbink going for the Rock Slide, that's going to KO the A-Slash. At the very least, A-Slash is out of the way. In comes Toxicroak. This is so good, as Toxicroak will get absolutely shredded by confusions from Jirachi later on. They Mud Bomb, that's going to KO. In comes Jirachi, look at the damage in the back. Opponent has Surfetched. In comes Pidgeot. Surfetched, farming up, winning CMP over the Pidgeot. Is this the Brave Bird? It is. That KOs. Suddenly, this could get dire because I believe the Toxicroak is going to make the Mud Bomb, and Jirachi took enough damage that Mud Bomb actually KOs, and that's a heartbreaking defeat. We see a great lead in the next match, Carbink into Mantine, and the Mantine is staying in this matchup. They've got to be weak to Carbink somewhere in the back as well. Mantine goes for the Bubble Beam, getting the debuff. In comes Dugong, and the opponent is extremely weak to Carbink so far. Carbink is going to fire off the Rock Slide. It's debuffed, but it still gets a shield from the Dugong. This will be the Drill Run, but Drill Run does not KO here. Carbink is going to no shield, save some energy, and send in Jirachi. Opponent ends up giving an entire Confusion for free to the Jirachi. Drill Run connects, but Jirachi able to withstand that damage, farming up so much, and now going for the Doom Desire. Doom Desire will be lethal here. Down goes the Dugong. Opponent can send in the Mantine, should be able to reach the Dazzling Gleam here. Oh, maybe not. The Jirachi getting low, opting instead to go for the Doom Desire. That's resisted, and it ends up being a CMP tie. Honestly, that worked out pretty nicely here. In comes Pidgeot, it's Scrafty in the back, and that's game over. Great lead in the next match, Carbink into Pidgeot. Opponent save switches into Dubwool. Dubwool is going to be answered by Jirachi. Now, if a payback lands, this could be devastating. We see a shield, and it is the payback. That is a massive shield. Jirachi farming up so much energy, and now gonna fire off the Doom Desire. Do we see a shield from the Dubwool? Yes, we do. Dubwool is gonna be able to outpace, and we're gonna see the second shield from the Jirachi. Dubwool full sending the payback again. That is massive. Jirachi going for the farm down, not quite able to get there. Is going to fire off the Doom Desire. That's shielded by the Dubwool and KOs through the shield, because even a shielded charge move still does 1 HP of damage. In comes Quagsire. They lose CMP to the Dazzling Gleam, and that rocks the Quagsire. Quagsire fires off the Mud Bomb. That's going to KO, but this game is over. As we see there, opponent will concede the match. The good leads continue in the next match, Carbink into Shadow Golbat. Opponent will look to immediately save switch out. They send in Cresselia, and Cresselia will be answered with Jirachi. Jirachi, of course, is resisting all of Cresselia's charge moves here, so Jirachi able to tank multiple moves and return fire with the Doom Desires. Jirachi opts to go for the Dazzling Gleam here. Dazzling Gleam does more overall damage, but Doom Desire is a lot more efficient, so I would typically recommend in this matchup just spamming out Doom Desires. Cress goes for the Moonblast. Jirachi farming up here. Cresselia makes another charge move. This is going to be close. Can Jirachi hang on? Moonblast is not going to KO, and Jirachi will get either shield advantage or switch advantage. Opponent is going to play for switch advantage here. Cresselia gets the farm down, but this sets up Pidgeot, as Pidgeot can now get energy, and with that energy, Pidgeot can absolutely nuke the Golbat. We see a shield from the Pidgeot. Opponent is going to go for the Moonblast. Pidgeot leaves with the Brave Bird. In comes the Shadow Golbat, farming up, going for the kill shot here with the Brave Bird onto the Shadow Golbat. They get KO'd. In the back, it's Shadow Quagsire, and the opponent is now getting Feather Dance debuffed. There's nothing they can do to reset the debuff, farming up, sending in the Carbink, and the opponent is going to see this damage, and they're going to be very sad. Mud Bomb does absolutely nothing, and the opponent concedes the match. Dream lead in the next match, Carbink into Charizard. Opponent save switches into Dubwool, and that will be answered with Pidgeot. Carbink is an absolute wall to Dubwool, which is quite nice, as both Body Slam and Payback are going to be resisted. Pidgeot down on energy can be a bit uncomfortable, so as the Carbink in that situation, honestly, sometimes I don't mind staying in for a bit. Make them waste energy, and then you can send in Pidgeot. It does desync the switch timers a bit, but that way, you don't have to go down a shield. They're going to be firing off debuffed energy here with another Body Slam. Pidgeot able to hang on, make it to the Brave Bird before they make their next Body Slam. This will be lethal, but the opponent is just going to take their shield advantage. And now, because Pidgeot is debuffed, this is going to set up farm for Charizard. Charizard's energy doesn't go anywhere into the Carbink. In the back, it's a Scrafty. And this is looking incredibly tough as Jirachi down a shield, Confusions are doing absolutely nothing, and Scrafty is just going straight for the power-up punch here. Scrafty going for power-up punch number 2. This is going to be tough, needing the double Doom Desire, trying to get there, but Scrafty counters down, and that's game over. We see a Nightmare lead in the next match, Carbink into Shadow Quagsire. Quagsire hits this entire team for super effective damage, so definitely not a fun Pokemon to encounter whatsoever. They build up to the Stone Edge, Pidgeot will commit a shield, opponent now going to counter switch into Cresselia, but Cresselia not a strong answer to a Pidgeot that has an energy lead, as Pidgeot will be able to land not 1 but 2 Feather Dance debuffs, meaning that Cresselia can basically output 0 damage now. They are going to fire off the charge move, but this is a quad debuffed Moonblast that just does absolutely nothing, and the switch timers are misaligned. Pidgeot farming up energy, gonna bank a Brave Bird and make a catch onto Jirachi. I really like how this game is being played. A very difficult lead, but choosing to bank energy, desync the switch timers, and let's see what can happen. Opponent looking to bank a bunch of energy and switch out to reset the debuff. They send in Gliscor, and Gliscor will be answered with so much energy from Jirachi. Jirachi goes for the Doom Desire. That does quite a lot of damage. Going for Doom Desire number 2, putting pressure onto this Gliscor. Gliscor farming up. They're firing off a charge move. Is a Night Slash going to KO here? This is non-shadow. I think Jirachi is going to take it, and it does. Jirachi taking the Night Slash, putting pressure onto the Gliscor. Gliscor commits the shield. Jirachi farming up. They realize they're getting farmed down. They're forced to fire off a charge move here. Night Slash will KO. In comes the Carbink. The question is, did they make the Earthquake? I believe the answer is no. It's only going to be a Night Slash, and all they have left is the Cresselia that has a bunch of energy, and the Quagsire. In comes the Quag. They're going to be firing off the Mud Bomb. We see the no shield from the Carbink. Mud Bomb connects, and the combo play with the Brave Bird. That's gonna be goodbye, Quagsire. In comes the Cresselia, but the Cresselia is extremely low on health. So despite being triple weak to Quagsire, this is going to end up being a win. Opponent trying to save whatever energy they can, going for a Grass Knot, but Pidgeot withstands the damage and secures the win. Very well played. Great lead in the final match. Carbink into Pidgeot. Opponent save switches into Vigoroth, and we're going to see a counter switch into Pidgeot. Now, Vigoroth up energy is a bit awkward for this team because as opposed to Dubwool, which is walled by Carbink, Vigoroth can actually do quite well there as Bulldoze hits for super effective damage. Firing off the Feather Dance with the Pidgeot, but we see the no shield from the opponent. This Body Slam is going to be debuffed, but Pidgeot is now in a range where it could get countered down and does. Losing switch advantage, this is going to make this game difficult. In comes Carbink. Carbink looking for the farm down. They do make the Bulldoze here. Bulldoze would hit for super effective damage. We do see the shield used. That Bulldoze was debuffed by Feather Dance, and in the back we see Chestnut, and this is going to be tough. We're going to see the Moonblast fired. Moonblast gets shielded. In comes Jirachi. Jirachi will be met with a superpower from the Chestnut here. We see the no shield. That does quite a lot of damage. In comes Pidgeot, and Pidgeot farming up, but will be met with the Doom Desire. Doom Desire definitely going to hurt. It's a pretty solid move. That gets the Pidgeot low. Pidgeot firing off the charge move here. Odds are they're going for the Feather Dance, and they do. I honestly don't mind the shield here, just looking to try and preserve the Jirachi as much as possible. Jirachi goes for the Doom Desire. That gets shielded. Can Jirachi switch out? No, it cannot. The switch clock was not up. Feather Dance KOs, and now it's all up to Carbink. Carbink gets the farm down. In comes the Chestnut. It's gonna be a race, and the Chestnut is able to outpace. Frenzy Plant KOs the Carbink, and that's a good game. All in all, Jirachi looks to be a very cool anti-meta pick. In these battles, it didn't run into a Carbink, but it is an absolute wall to Carbink, in addition to walling Cresselia and doing extremely well into Toxapex, so it does very well into a lot of the common meta Pokemon that are being seen. And as I mentioned, this trainer was able to go on a 14-game win streak with the team, although with the battles for the video, I did want to showcase some wins as well as some losses, so that way you can kind of see how the team performs both ways. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.